What's going on, YouTube? We're here today. We're going to replace some rims. So we have these old tires and rims that we want to save the tires and the foam, but the rims are garbage. So we're going to bake them, and we're going to remove them, and we're going to put them on these new rims. The reason we're removing these is because, I don't know if you could see it, but if you look inside, it's pretty chewed up in there, and when the tires are on the car, they kind of give it a little bit of a wobble. I've put other tires on there and they do not wobble, so we're assuming that this is going to fix it. I have a cookie sheet here. We are going to bake them in the oven at 350 degrees. Last time I did this, it was on larger tires, so it took a little bit longer. I check them about every 5 to 10 minutes and just give them a quick pull, see if they come off easy. If they do, take them out, pop them off. If they do not, put them back in for a few more minutes and see how it goes. If you're getting any background noise, I do apologize. That is the 3D printer printing a wall mount for the Typhon. So sorry about the noise. Well, we're going to pop these suckers in the oven after it is finished preheating, and we'll see how quickly we get this done. I don't know if you could see that, but we've got them in the oven there on the middle rack, or as close to the middle as you can get it for even heat distribution. Okay, so we are back again. Sorry for the noise. It's the 3D printer going. So we've got these out of the oven, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this one-handed or not, but they're very hot, so be careful when they come out of the oven. Also, I forgot to mention, they smell something awful. So if you've got a significant other or a wife or whatever, just be careful, because they might give you a beating for this. So you just want to take it and bend the tire out, and you'll see it will start to pop off of the rim like that. The glue gets rather brittle under the heat, and it breaks away rather easy. So I'm going to pop these off, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we are back. Managed to successfully get the rims off, no problem. Here's the old rims, taking them out, and we've got the new rims ready to go in. Hopefully this will solve our issue. Again, it's rather, ooh, that's hot, rather chewed up in there, and I think that's what's causing the wobble problem. I had put on an older set of rims and tires that we had, and yeah, it fixed the problem. So we're going to clean these up a little bit. As you can see, there's still some dried up glue in there, so we'll clean that up before we get ready to glue those on. I'm going to pause the video and do that off video. It's just a matter of picking it off, and it's rather tedious and time consuming. And when you do this, make sure you put some aluminum foil down on the pan, especially if you haven't cleaned your tires. Some dirt might come off, and you never know what happens. If you have a cheaper set of rims and tires, who knows, maybe it's made out of a material that'll melt. In this case, Proline makes some great products, so we didn't have that issue. And if you guys are wondering what I'm printing there, it's a wall mount for remote control cars. As you can see, we hung the slash up on the wall there, and these rims and tires are actually for that car. So we'll get those on there and see what happens. We'll come back when I've cleaned this up, and I'll show you the gluing process. Okay, so we've cleaned off most of the old glue that's on there, at least as much as I can. Also used some diluted Simple Green. Sorry, that's not actually Myers. This is diluted Simple Green in there with just a wash rag, and washed out any sort of debris that we can get out of there. I didn't do such a great job, but I did the best I can with what I have. I just use these for bashing, not so much for racing. If you're doing racing, you want to do a much better job than this. You want that thing to be like brand new. But for bashing, this will be just fine. Make sure you let that Simple Green dry before you do any sort of gluing. Make sure your foam is seated nice inside the tire. check on both sides of the tire, on both tires, or all four if you're doing four, and make sure your foam is seated nice before you continue any further. Next step will be to take your rim, make sure your tire is facing the proper direction. In our case, we have two separate sizes. Some tires you have the same on both sides. So you just make sure you're lining it up right. Sit that right on there and push it down. And you pull the bead into place all the way around. Sometimes you gotta press it down. It's kind of difficult to do with one hand. See if we can get that in. There we go. Press that into place nice. Turn it over. Make sure the back half is seated nice as well. This one may need some finagling, some pressing, some pulling, just to get it on there. Peel it slightly out and back, and it will sit nice. And just take it, roll it around, make sure the foam is seated well in there, and you've got one good to go. I'm going to pause it here, repeat the process, and we will show you the finished product before we start adding glue. Okay, so we've got the tire seated on there nice. We've rolled it around a bit, made sure the foam is in place, taken a good hard look at the front, making sure that it is seated nicely all the way around. We now have our Proline tire glue that we are going to use on here, and we are going to take the tire, peel it back just a little bit like that, and we are going to, with the other hand, stick the nozzle of the glue in there and just give it a quick little once around. We're then going to slightly turn it, do the same, and continue all the way around. On the other side, we will then do the same. I like to give it a few minutes between each side. Give this maybe 20 minutes to let itself sit. The directions here, let's see if we can get that to focus. Where are they? There's the directions. Sorry about the glare. But yeah, I like to do one side, let it sit, and then do the other side. So it's a bit of a difficult process, especially to do one-handed. So we're going to cut the video here, and we will come back when it's completed and they are back on the car. So we are back for the last part of the video. We have taken several hours for the glue to dry. Not the prettiest of jobs, but it will work. Here we are on the car after. It's a different rim, but close enough. We've got them on the front right now, and that's what she looks like as of right now. Back to having all four tires matching, and that's how we replace rims, at least how I replace rims, while trying to save the tires and the foam. A little bit squishier right now, but I have the feeling that those will work out over time. The foams will just sit back nice. If they don't, they don't. Oh well. No harm, no foul. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell.